day after, the day before, I suppose, or the night before, however you want to call it. It's 24 hours, or maybe more. When was it? 2 o'clock kickoff? You'll have to excuse the bad hair day. I cannot be asked to fix it. And Christmas is a-coming. So Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good old time. With that said, I wish we could be talking on more positive terms. However, I want to start the video by saying that I think, myself included, we're overdoing it. We're over exaggerating, and I don't think necessarily rival fans are. It's going to happen. People are going to say we bottled this, we bottled that, bottled everything else. The fact of the matter is, Everton came in with a game plan. They executed it perfectly. Once again, they tend to do so, especially when we're away at Goodison Park. Players like Pickford, Tarkowski, who else? Decore, Ashley Young, absolute nightmares for us in this game. And, people like Cole Palmer, Jackson, not necessarily hitting on all cylinders to the capacity where it, regardless of what Everton do, we were going to always be able to break down that wall. Now, obviously, Jackson and Palmer linked up earlier in, I think it was the first half, where Palmer, great pass through the legs, across goal. Jackson should really have put it in the back of the net. Didn't quite go to plan, but if it would have been a completely different game, obviously. The assist for Palmer, the goal for Jackson, it's all happy days once that happens on any score sheet. And with the way we defended, I thought we defended really well. I think that it's hard to really call it a bad performance. Obviously, the creativity started to lack a little bit towards certain parts of the game, and Everton had a real good hold of the game at points. They were an absolute nightmare to play against. With that said, let's get into the player ratings. I'm going to try and do this as quickly as possible because, 23rd of December and all that sort of stuff. Please do like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. It's a draw, but it still ends o'clock. It ends o'clock. And yes, with that said, shall we move on? Let me zoom out just a little bit. I always zoom in first by chance. Let me know your player ratings in the comments. I will say that one issue that I have, not an issue, but it's rather telling when this man is man of the match, arguably man of the match twice in the space of 2 games. I'm just getting up. It was against Brentford, obviously. We know. Excuse me. We won that game, I would argue that Sanchez was man of the match in that game against Brentford. I think he saved us on a couple of occasions in that game, and I think he did the same in this game. I tell you what, he's starting to put in some really stellar performances, and I think is on, hopefully not a bit of a purple patch, but he is on a really good run of form as of late. I'm going to give him an 8. I'm going to start off this player ratings, and a lot of people probably clicked off already because they saw an 8 for Sanchez. Fuck off. God, get out of here. How many of these have you drunk? This is my first, but still, I digress. It's, I don't know if that's a good thing that Sanchez is our man of the match. That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. And peace. We'll carry on. We'll do the rest of them. Sanchez, though, absolutely fantastic. Hopefully in future he's not the man of the match anymore. Goalkeepers being a man of the match in any capacity is never a good thing. Disasi, I feel like at times was absolutely overrun. But I mean, managed to get the better. There was one instance in particular where I think we were really, really caught out because of a Disassi sort of situation, and well, I say sort of, but a Disassi situation put us in a bit of an issue. Same with Colwell. We'll get to him in just a second. I think it really, it's a weird one because the defense really played well, I thought. So I might come back to this, but a 6.5 for Disassi. I think just preliminarily, it's going to be a 7 for Tosin. I think a 6.5 for Colwell. Yeah. And Gusto, I would say probably a 6, to be completely honest with you. Right, we'll get into these ratings. I'm going to do them in batches like I have just now. Disassi, shaky, to say the least, at times. And it really did cause a bit of concern throughout. His passing wasn't fantastic. I say that. We'll have a little look. Passes, 63 out of 68. So, 93% pass accuracy. Pretty fucking good, to be completely honest with you. But in terms of confidence, there were just moments where you just thought typical Disassi, but then maybe there is a little bit of an instance of like, it's just because it's Disassi. We just immediately think, oh, God, But overall, it wasn't like an overly terrible performance in any way, shape or form, but it was one of those where, again, there were just a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, a little bit of the, how's he going to fuck this up? He didn't, to be fair. But there was that one instance where he was caught out of possession and then he nearly went and scored. Same with Colwell. Colwell, for me, gets a 6.5 purely, well, not purely, but because I just don't have confidence at the moment. There's that time I think he did get fouled. But then looking at the replay, you could argue he didn't, and he went down very, very easily. They then went and nearly scored. You know what? Even just for that block alone, I'm going to give Tosin a 7.5. I think he is at least 1 point better off than the rest of the defense in this game. Overall, as a defense, I think we did well, and we weren't made to pay. We should have been at times. This is what I'm trying to say with Disassi and Colwell. Gusto, really don't like him on the left back at all, personally. And I know we also saw him doing the old fucking skipping a fucking what's name, but it didn't. It's not the one. It's not the one. Better than Colwell. Well, I say better than Colwell at left back in any capacity is not a good sight. So anyway, we'll move on. The year's nearly over. Caicedo and Enzo, it's just it's fairly easy. That I think they did really well. I'm going to go a 7.5 for both of them. These are really high, to be fair, these ratings. I might have to go to a 7. But I thought, yeah, just really solid in the middle. I can't really... I mean, Caicedo didn't get booked. That in itself is a miracle. So just for that alone, that's a 7.5, Moving forward, and I think... It's just when it's, I don't want us to rely on Palmer. I don't want us to have to feel like we have to rely on him. I do think Jackson let the side down with, missed chances. In fact, we'll do Jackson now. Hit the post, missed a sitter, and it was a sitter. He was on the edge of the fucking 6-yard box. It was an easy one, and he put it straight in the face of the goalkeeper. I'm gonna go with a 6. I'm going to go with a 6 for Jackson. Elsewhere was pretty good. But when it matters most in this game, it didn't pop, did it? It wasn't good. It was costing. In a game like this, where you absolutely need to put your chances away because of how Everton play against us, he cost us in a sense. Palmer, I'm thinking 6.5. I could be. I'm going to go 6.5. I'm going to go be 6.5 because he's not meant to be a defensive player. So that part of it, obviously, he's not going to be involved in the game to a degree. But there just seems to be a bit of an elusiveness about him. Other than that chance against, passing it to Jackson, I just didn't feel like Palmer was present in the game as much as you would like. And in again, not to put the entire pressure on him, it's games like this where you need a game changer, and I just didn't feel like there was enough input to warrant any more than a 6.5. I might have to change some of these. We'll change some of these around at some point. Same with Neto. I think I'm going to go with a 6.5 for him. It just, I don't know. I enjoyed watching him more than Sancho. Sancho just did my head in at points because he just doesn't shoot. Just shoot, please. It's just so frustrating at times when he obviously he's a very selfless player, surprisingly, and just chooses to pass or look for the pass or looks for the quick pass, and sometimes he doesn't pass quick enough. I know that makes no sense because sometimes it's quick pass, sometimes the idea is he just passes all the time. He very rarely, very seldomly does he shoot. And it's almost to a detriment because we saw what he could do against Tottenham, and just do that, please. In a game like this where it's like Everton are shutting up shop and they do not allow for you to, like, 12 shots in this game is for our standard is pretty fucking low, if I'm not mistaken. How many shots did we have against? No, 26 shots against Brentford last week. So 12 shots, 5 on target. We were absolutely held underwater. Our heads were held underwater in this game. I will say there wasn't really anything wrong with Sancho at all, and I do continue to really enjoy what him being a Chelsea player. I think people have been quite harsh on him for other reasons. I just want to see him shoot more because I know he has the talent to put it in the back of the net after what we saw against Tottenham. A really fucking good shot, really good goal. Just do it more, please. When Jackson isn't looking like he's shooting on all cylinders, Palmer doesn't really seem like he's a threat in front of goal. Neto isn't really doing much. Sancho needs to take it upon himself to fucking shoot from distance at times. With that said, I am going to... I don't know. I think I'm happy with these. I'm fairly sure I'm happy with these. Are some of them quite high? Maybe Enzo a 7? I don't know. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. It might be high for some people, but I don't know. It wasn't like we didn't lose. It wasn't a bad performance by any means. It's just Everton had us absolutely under control. And I am a bit worried in that sense that maybe Everton have showcased what our weaknesses are or how to defend against Chelsea. And it's not even necessarily just the low block. It's a whole load of other things. But yeah, with that said, we are still, unfortunately, we didn't finish top in... maybe even the new year because, well, no, not even the new year. It was. We are not going to finish top in the new year, which was never really the option. 16 games played for Liverpool. They obviously battered Tottenham the other day or yesterday. 39 points. They're now 4 points ahead. We've got 2 games left in the year. So that's 6 points. We could get 41. I very much doubt that Liverpool are going to draw the next 2 games that they have and we win against Fulham and Ipswich, which that's possible. That is possible, but the unlikelihood of Liverpool drawing their next two games, Leicester and West Ham away, we're just got to focus on ourselves. That's the issue. That's the thing with games like this, is that we're now focusing on what Liverpool are doing when we should be focusing on ourselves, you know. With that said, I've had a stinker here. I'm probably aware of that. I think I am aware of that. I'm aware of that. But still, Merry Christmas. And, well, I'm saying a Happy New Year. I will see you on Boxing Day for the Fulham game. Please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. And with that said, my name is Harry, up the Chelsea, and peace.